Hey, Canucks fans, hope you're well on this Saturday afternoon. We have some roster moves to talk about as the Vancouver Canucks play back-to-back for the fifth time this season, I think, and they're going to play the LA Kings to wrap up the California part of their road trip. We know that they beat Anaheim 5-4 on Wednesday, lost to San Jose 3-2 just yesterday. Canucks have played well in those two games, but special teams was a downfall yesterday. And thanks to everyone who joined me for my morning show, Clay M Canucks commentary this morning. So what is this roster news that we're talking about? Well, the big one is Kevin Lankinen is rejoining the team. He stayed back in Vancouver this past week for personal reasons. Don't need to or don't want to get into it because we don't know. It doesn't really matter actually, but what matters is that hopefully Lankinen's okay. His family's okay. He practiced yesterday in Vancouver and then flew, I guess, to join the team last night or this morning. So he could be an option for tonight. So that's the first thing is Kevin Lankinen, and therefore Jiri Patera is being sent back down to Abbotsford. So Lankinen comes on, Patera goes off, and that's a roster, obviously a 1-for-1 roster switch. And I'll talk a bit more about that in a second. The other roster move is Jonathan Lekkerimaki was called up from Abbotsford. He's had 3 goals in the past 5 games down there, looking really good. And the Canucks obviously need some help offensively, especially on their power play, considering they went 0-for-7 against San Jose yesterday. And that was really the biggest reason why they lost. They dominated the game 5-on-5, but they could not convert on any of their power plays, including 3 third period opportunities, which was very, very tough. So if Lekkerimaki joins the team, but no one had to be sent down because the Canucks were actually going with 22 roster spots. There are 22 players on their roster. They're actually one short of a full roster because technically they were carrying one extra forward. For instance, last night, Ratu was the one who was scratched. And then they're carrying one extra defenseman. P.O. Joseph was scratched, but that's it. And then they only went with a 22-man roster yesterday. And that, of course, doesn't include Philip Hito, who's on the IR, Teddy Bluger is on the IR, and Niels Hoglander is on the LTIR, and Derek Forbert, who's on LTIR, and Demko, who's on IR as well. So 5 regulars are hurt, and Lekkerimaki comes off of that list, which is really, really good. So Lekkerimaki joined. So now the Canucks will have 14 forwards on their roster tonight, as long as they didn't place anyone on waivers today. So 14 forwards. So my guess, if Lekkerimaki plays, is that both Baines and Reichel will sit, or Baines and Ratu will sit if Reichel stays in the lineup. But basically, Lekkerimaki would take Baines' spot in the lineup from yesterday. So again, the Canucks will have 2 healthy scratches up front, and then they'll have 1 healthy scratch on D. My guess, it's D hasn't been the issue. At least you don't put in P.O. Joseph in front of everyone. The only one you might put him in for is DPD. He's only playing 11, 12 minutes a night, whereas Tom Verlander has, I think, thrived a little bit more than DPD. And Tom Verlander's been playing 14 or 15 minutes a night on the right side. So once again, Kevin Lankinen brought up, Jiri Patera sent down, and Kevin Lankinen wasn't brought up. He was never an officer. Kevin Lankinen joins the team. Jiri Patera is sent down to make room for Lankinen, because you only carry 2 goalies, obviously. Tolopilo is the other one, with Demko being injured. And then Lekkerimaki is called up, and no one is sent down just yet because, like I said, the Canucks had 1 extra roster spot. Now, let's talk about Lankinen. Tolopilo's been fine, actually, in the 2 games. He had the win against Anaheim and made some really good saves, faced a lot of shots. And then yesterday, not as many shots, but still, none of the goals were his fault. 2 of them were power play goals, actual power play goals, and the third one was just as Marcus Pettersson was exiting the penalty box. So for all intents and purposes, it was a power play goal as well. And I said this in my morning show, you can't really fault Tolopilo on last night's goals. The first one was a cross ice to Smith. The second one was a one-timer to Eklund, from Eklund, another cross ice one, and that was with the Canucks 2 men down. And the third one was the weird one. Would you like him to keep that out of the net? Yeah, that was tough. It was he had to go side to side and then stop Gaudette, try and stop Gaudette, and that's the one that went to video review. But obviously Lankinen is better than Tolopilo. But with Patera being sent down, you're either going Tolopilo back to back very short travel, but it's still bad. And yesterday was the afternoon game, and tonight is an evening game. But my guess, and Adam Foote's not talking until 5:30 tonight. Too late to do a pregame video. My guess is Kevin Lankinen will be in the lineup. So I'm guessing it's Lankinen with Tolopilo backing him up. Then I think you keep the same 6D. You go Hughes, Hronek. You go Marcus Pettersson with Verlander, and you go DPD with Myers. That they've kind of split the two veterans up, Pettersson and Myers, to go with. Marcus Pettersson and Myers to go with Verlander and DPD respectively. And then up front, I don't know if do you put Lekkerimaki in the top 6 role, or do you just bring him up top 9 role? I don't know if you want him on the 4th line. And so they have been running PD with DeBrusk and Kane, and then they have been running Kempf with Besser and Garland. And then a 3rd line yesterday, it was Tasson with O'Connor and Sherwood, a very speedy line. And then the 4th line had Arshdeep Bains, had Linus Karlsson, and had who am I missing? Lucas Reichel, I guess. So I'd be interested to see who Lekkerimaki comes in for. He's a winger. He's not a center. So if he comes in for Bains, that's a easy thing. He just plays with either one of and does Ratu come in for Reichel? I guess that's the other trick too. So I definitely think Bains will be the winger coming out for Lekkerimaki, and then you have to decide between Ratu and Reichel. So if you don't put Lekkerimaki in the top 6, he's in the bottom 6 with some combination of Sherwood, O'Connor, Karlsson, probably the wingers, and then your centers are 2 of the 3, Sesson, Ratu, and Reichel. And then maybe you put Lekkerimaki on the top unit power play to give it some juice, or at least the 2nd unit. But I think why not try him on the top unit power play? That's what he's good at, and the power play certainly needs him. So there we go, Canucks fans. Look for both Lankinen and Lekkerimaki, the 2 L's, joining the Vancouver Canucks lineup tonight as the Vancouver Canucks host the LA Kings. I'm not doing a post-game show. I never do those on Friday and Saturday, but I will do a morning show tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So hope you join me for Clay M Canucks commentary. Give me your score prediction. Give me your first Canucks goal scorer. I'm going PD. PD's playing really well, and he had that amazing goal yesterday. So I'm going Pettersson with the first goal for the Canucks. I'm going to say they pull off the upset. 4-3 Vancouver, not 4-2. 4-3 Vancouver over the Kings, with PD scoring the first Canucks goal. Give me your score prediction. Give me your first Canucks goal scorer down below. Thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Gassy Jack Art, and Mulligan Golf Company. Thanks to my members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovelander, legendary Brian Blinky Choi, legendary Swervin Irvin, legendary Quinn Hughes, looks like the WWF's $1 million man. I messed that up. And legendary Andrew Chang. Thanks to Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. And don't forget, Legends and Hall of Fame, we have our group Zoom at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow. I'll post that link on my channel sometime tomorrow. Okay, friends, hope you enjoy the game tonight. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. God bless, and go Canucks go.